Today's video is brought to you by Hex Gaming. Let me ask you a question. Do you need that competitive edge in that first-person shooter, third-person shooter? Are you just getting straight clapped by the competition? Or how about that raid in that console MMO? Do you need something to give you some ease for your next cooldown, make your rotation a little bit simpler? You need some customizable buttons? Or do you just want a flashy controller? Visit Hex Gaming today and use promo code TNEC127 to get 5% off anything you order in the Hex Gaming store. That's hexgaming.com. Use promo code TNEC127 at checkout to get yourself a discount. Enjoy the video, guys. Hello gamers and gameheads, what is going on? My name is TNEC127 and welcome back to another video. And guys, in today's video I want to talk to you guys more about Outriders and World Slayer. But before we get into today's video, I do want to give a special thank you and a special shout out to Square Enix for hooking me up with a review copy of World Slayer. Now, my thoughts on World Slayer will be coming in a future video. I'm still working my way through the base campaign of Outriders and stuff like that, and also working my way up into the World Slayer expansion. I want to fully experience endgame and stuff like that and give, Outriders my full taste before I talk about it, unlike I did, when Outriders first launched. I gave a little first impressions. I talked about, some things I wanted to do with builds and stuff like that, and then I kind of fell off it a bit. But, the game's regressed my interest. I've gotten a lot more into the story, and, personally, I know a lot of people have said, the story of Outriders is cheesy, but I personally like it. I'm enjoying Outriders more than Destiny right now. And I know that's going to turn off a lot of people, and a lot of people are going to look at this video and say, and I'm probably going to get a dislike immediately. But that's right, guys. I like my, my looter shooters, third person, chill, straight up and simple. I was a huge Anthem fan, man, and this is kind of, my replacement. RIP Anthem. I wish that game was still here because of so much potential that EA just did not see, nor did they give a fair chance to, in my opinion. But anyway, we're not here to talk about Anthem. We're here to talk about Outriders because the devs are already on the right track. And the thing is, they've always been on the right track. One thing about Outriders is I slept on it a little bit because it wasn't a live service game. In my opinion, I believe looter shooters should be done as a live service because, I was afraid of the game not having frequent updates, having a just end game that sat there and never getting updated. But the devs have, they've surprised me. They've done a mix of free and paid updates, and hopefully Outriders continues to follow that in the future. Hopefully, we get some more free updates and additional things to maybe like the end game raid, Tire Guitar and stuff like that, and then maybe another expansion in the future. We'll see where they want to go with the game, but so far I like what they're doing, and I personally was a doubter of it. But today they did something really awesome. Now, by the time you guys are watching this video, it'll probably be a little bit later, but on July 12th, they released a really interesting patch for Outriders World Slayer. It fixed some bugs, it did some changes and stuff like that, but there was one thing in specific that they did here that I wanted to talk about that really got me excited because these guys seem to understand, how people like to play these looter-style games, stuff like MMORPGs, RPGs, and stuff like that. Like, they found an exploit that players were using. They didn't punish the players. They just fixed the issue and decided to give people more choice because, hey, we know y'all want to farm. We know y'all want good gear. We know y'all want the best loot. And we know y'all want to make your builds. Like, I'm going to read you guys this section of the patch notes they put here. And this, this really, really excited me. It says, Outriders World Slayer has been updated. Our teams are continuing to work hard on improving the Outriders World Slayer experience, and we will share news of future update plans when we are able to. Yes, awesome. So there's our confirmation that more updates are coming to Outriders World Slayer. Yes, more content, baby. And it goes to say here, patch notes. It says, please note for Stadia, the patches with the Google team for the final certification will be published at their discretion. So, yeah, Stadia patch, I guess it's not here yet. However, as the Tire Guitar Awards rework has been implemented via the backend, we have been able to push these changes live for Stadia. So the Tarja guitar stuff, Stadia players can deal with now. So it goes to say the changes to Tarja guitar, and this is what I want to talk about here in this video. A large number of players have been abusing an exploit which allows them to bypass all other content and infinitely farm the final arbiter in the trial of Tarja guitar. Rather than punish the players and reduce the overall farming opportunities, we would like to realign your options and give you more choice rather than less. Which I think is cool. Don't throw these guys a bunch of band waves. Don't yank gear out of people's inventories. They're just like, hey, we understand. It's a looter shooter. Y'all want to farm. Y'all want to grind. We know how hectic things like Warframe can be. So, we're going to work with you a little bit. We are adding an extra guaranteed Apocalypse legendary RNG drop in the following trove areas: in the Cliffside Path, the Darter's Sanctuary, and the Arbitorium. This guaranteed drop will correspond to the targeted loot option for the respective trove. Troves will now also drop intended targeted loot more often. We are reducing the final Arbiter's Apocalypse legendary drop rate, but the choice of legendary reward that appears after defeating the final Arbiter remains unaffected. We are reducing the helmet drop rate for the final Arbiter so that he will now be more likely to drop gear that isn't a helmet than before. So they also balance that final boss's drop rates and stuff for the raid too, which I think is pretty cool. But what they basically did was just make everything more viable inside of the dungeon, so that way you're going to want to run that content instead of just skipping around it. That's how you do things in these looter shooters, man. God, a lot of these other developers take notes. I just found this really cool, and I wanted to go ahead and share this with you guys. Let me know how y'all are feeling about this down in the comments below. But anyway, y'all enjoyed today's video? Smash that like button. I will see y'all in the next one. If you want more Outriders content and you're new here, make sure you are subscribing to the channel. Peace out. Have a good one.